You are a B2B service-based business owner and you are looking to gain more clients, create more impact and more revenue in your business. Tune in to Amplify Your Marketing Message with Christine Campbell-Rappin. Every week, we're going to take you through how to build an audience of buyers, mastering your marketing message, and making offers that convert consistently. We'll see you all on the inside. Welcome back, everybody. One of the most important lessons I learned in making impact and being successful as a business owner was that your number one responsibility every single day is to sell. And it comes down to confidence. You are either more confident that you have the right solution, or the person you are collaborating with is more confident that you don't. It comes down to selling, influence. And so I'm super excited today for this episode with an amazing friend of mine, because we're going to be talking about the fact if you cannot sell yourself, you cannot sell anything. So give a very warm welcome to my friend, Miss Anita Green. Super, super love you. So I'm so excited to have you here on our platform today. Welcome.
Thank you, Christine. I'm excited. Thank you.
You are so welcome. So I want to talk first off this idea that selling is optional. Is it?
No. Heavens, no. Selling is everything. The world functions by communicating and connecting effectively with whoever you're talking to. In a personal relationship, business, it doesn't matter. It's all about communicating and connecting effectively and building trust. That's what selling is. So every time you open your mouth, walk in a room, do anything, you're selling. So you're either doing it on purpose because you've learned your skill and how to do it and how to build trust, or it's just going to happen organically, or it's not going to happen at all.
I love this because a lot of people come into the world of business and they say this statement. You've probably heard it as many times as I have. I really want to build a business, but I don't want to sell anything.
Oh my gosh. I just go, bye.
Okay, hear that, everybody? So if you were in the audience and you are cringing, Anita has dismissed you, and so have I, because wake up. You cannot grow a business. And I think there's a lot of people selling you when they say, I want to teach you sales, but it's not salesy. I want you to not have a conversation, but just do a DM. I'm like, guys, wake up.
Yeah.
They are selling you in that moment. Everything is influence. Everything is an exchange. And when you meet and marriage, value is created. And I get out of bed, as does Anita, every day to create value. And when you have a value-driven approach, selling is awesome.
It is. Selling is a win-win for both. And the reason that people fear it is because they think they're taking advantage of something. So if you are taking advantage of someone, that's scamming. That's not selling. So they're coming from it out of guilt or shame or something that maybe they've heard somebody do something to them or been sold on something. So it's gotten a negative connotation. But I find that everyone on the planet has these 4 letters on their forehead. MMFS, make me feel special. Everyone. So when you learn the art and the science around communicating and connecting effectively, building authentic trust with people, and knowing that you have the art and the science and the ability to paint a picture for them of how whatever you're doing for them is going to benefit them. It's all about them. When you're focusing all on them, you're not scared. You're not worried. You're not scamming. You're not feeling badly about selling because you've genuinely come up with the benefits for the other person. And that's connecting and communicating effectively.
Yeah, I just love this idea. So if you got out of bed, I want everyone to just take an escape with me for a second here. If you got up every day, understanding you're a business owner, so your number one responsibility is to make an offer, to exchange value, and to sell. And you got out of bed today excited with the nervous butterflies, the anticipation in the day that said, how can I make somebody feel special today? Would your business feel like oxygen? Because that is what we want for you. That is what we mentor and guide people to achieve, because that's seriously living vibrantly.
It is. The service is the currency of the universe. And so selling is service. If you're doing it right, then you are servicing someone, so you are benefiting them. And you would have no reason, if you knew that, I'm just making this up, but if you knew you were about to knock on somebody's door and hand them $1 million, would you be going, oh, I hate to bother them? No, I've never said that before. I don't know where it came from, but it's like when you think about it differently, you change the way you think about it, everything changes. And that's what I'd love to help people with, that are like, I never knew selling could be so easy. It's fun and it's easy and it's servicing people, it's taking care of them. And then it's a win-win for both. I don't believe there's such a thing in the universe as it one-sided. So if it's all one-sided for you, oh my gosh, I'm just going to make this huge commission, or I just got this huge client and it's all about you, that's one-sided. It's never going to work. It has to be balanced. There has to be a win in it, major league, and actually more for the client that you're selling, or the person you're selling. Even if it's just in a relationship and you're selling yourself to date someone, it's the same thing. It's how
It
you.
is It is the same. And I think the perspective, first off, it's intent, right? It is intent to, I'm going to delight somebody else. I'm going to make somebody else feel special. And what I also love about what you're saying, when it's a service and it's a movement and it is an exchange of energy, it comes down to movement. And everybody here on this podcast knows I'm all about the movement. Our goal is to get into movement, to anticipate the movement, to stay in movement. And when we do that, great things happen. And one of the reasons why people feel icky about sales is because of the language of closing, because it's about stopping the movement. It is an unnatural thing. So one of the most fun phrases I heard in recent weeks was somebody who said, I never look at selling as closing, and I don't either. This is me personally. I always think of it as a new beginning. I always think of it as a launch pad to a journey we have committed together, because we're creating value together. And so this person had said to me, Christine, I always think of sales as onboarding. And I am constantly onboarding. I'm constantly enrolling. I'm constantly focused on delivering what I promised and staying in the integrity of energy, which is movement. So if you go icky, I want to just do it and run away, reevaluate your intention.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's just so amazing to me. Like you, I've sold tens of millions of dollars worth of products and services in my day. Of course, I've been around 200 years, so that gave me a lot of time. But it's about, I'll just give you an example about relationships. I have clients that I have worked with that I'm in their fourth generation of clients. I really do. I have 4 of those where I'm literally working with fourth generation. And that is because I did the right thing and the good thing with the first ones. And then they refer, so my business ends up becoming big time referral. More than anything, because you've done the right thing. People, if you go see a good movie, don't you want to tell everybody about it? Of course you do. A good restaurant, that is selling. And that is the way you look at your own business. And people look at you once you've given them the service and you've helped them accomplish whatever it is they're trying to accomplish and become whoever they want to become. Then they're like, wow, this person really helped me. I made this much more money. I found the man of my dreams, whatever it is. It just perpetuates. It just goes, when you talk about energy, everything's energy. Everything is movement. Everything is energy. And it's like, you have to keep it going. That's why it isn't a close. It's a beginning, and it's forever going on. And it's so important to think about it that way. Suzanne Evans, who we both know well, wrote a book, Win No Matter What. Love that book, because she plays life as a game. Selling and relationships, everything's a game. It's a game of give and take, of fun. And people take things too seriously. You take what the results are going to be for the other person seriously, but you don't have to take the process seriously.
Yeah. And you have to be human. And I know where we have lots of episodes here in this platform that talk a lot about, and I'm an advocate, if you want to compete in today's world, you need to remember to bring the human into it. And I love what you talked about. The reason I have referrals is because I did the right thing the first time. And I want you to hear that, because a lot of us think that we go after referrals. Like we ask our partners, our strategic alliances, people in our network, and we're, the number one easy, lazy ask is please refer somebody to my business. And yet when you observe, and I'm a good connector, trust me, I make a lot of people a lot of money because I said, I know you're going to do things right the first time. You're going to be a great communicator. And when there's hot water, you're going to take it in the hot water, deal with it and improve it so that when we say, the reason the referral comes is because I did the right thing to start with. Please always raise the standard, my friends, and show up with a high standard. But I want to also ask you, because it's curious, you said that you had this 4-generation client family group or people that were connected in one way. I want to ask you, how has selling changed? And what do you think makes modern selling highly effective and fun?
There's more technology, more ways to skin a cat. I can sell like we're talking right now. I can get to more people. It was door to door, knock on doors, and people don't know it, and picking up a phone and calling, which
That
is
still happens. I have a client of mine who has son who sold door to door and told
I
me a
did
great story
too.
about it just this week.
Initially, I did too. I've been kicked out of so many buildings. I mean, back in my day, I sold interconnect phone systems for Stromberg Carlson. I sold Westar satellite circuits to the North Slope and all of that. And it was knocking on doors, physically going, getting kicked out of things. I laugh when I think about it. When we've heard people say, oh, I'm so afraid to pick up the phone. I'm like, I make 50 phone calls a day. Now, I'm too busy now to sit and do that and don't have to do that. But in order to grow my business a bit, I picked up the phone. I don't think there's a better way. So yes, we have the technology and we can interface like this in a beautiful way so we actually see each other. So that is beautiful. But the good old fashioned can't be beaten, in my opinion, of just
Oh, I love the foundations.
talking and just connecting, going to events, talking, being interested, being curious. It's
My favorite
amazing.
word. My favorite word. That's funny because I think everything is old school's back again. And I know people, I remember when I really started to distill the business I have today, a lot of people kept saying to me, the thing I love about being around you is your clarity, which I said is fascinating. But clarity comes through iteration. It comes through the movement. It comes from doing the work. And I said, what's different is I really focus on foundations. And I remember at the time, a mentor of mine had said, you can't, the market now with all of its sizzle won't jibe with your message and what you do. And I had sat with it for quite a while and said, who do I want to be? What kind of value do I want to create? And I said, okay, you can debate to me all the time. I think it's elegantly simple. Foundations never go out of style. But the thing that gets me excited, I said, you might not love the foundations, but the results are really sexy because it's the way you want to play. I'm like, and I will get out of bed every day. I said, I will do the work. And to the point, the most lightning rod moment, a couple of years ago, I had an event and I had somebody was speaking there and said, how do you get more clients? Was always the theme, hardly surprising. It's always the theme because it's always the biggest problem. And I said, pick up the phone. And everyone's like, what do you mean by that? And I was like, the phone that you have in your hand or in your pocket, I'm pretty sure it's not more than 3 feet from you. I want you to use it for its natural function. And they're like really? And like, honestly, so we set a challenge. We put a good incentive and I said, we're going to have, our next break. I said, I want you to make 10 phone calls between now and the next break. And I watched people's hives break out. I watched I won't look you in the eye. I want to avoid it. And I was like, old school, pick up the phone. And this is the interesting thing because you and I both sold on behalf of other companies in our careers for many, it is easier to sell for somebody else than to sell for yourself.
Oh, well, that I agree with. I do agree with that because like now I don't have a product. I am the product. And so that is more challenging. But once again, when you have clarity and certainty like you're talking about, and you know that what you offer because you found out what the other person wants. You just don't go barreling in, putting square pegs in round holes. I sell a widget, you need my widget. And you don't do that. You get curious. You find out if what you offer is a good fit for the other person. And once it is, then you have such clarity that they've told you what they'd love things to look like. And you know exactly what the path is to get them. And I customize the path depending on the person. I don't have a one size fits all program. I mean, I have a program, but I customize it for the individuals because everyone's different. And when you go back to foundations of things, our words matter. And people don't even pay attention to the words they use now. Like if you said, "You hurt my feelings, Anita," and I went, "Oh, Christine, I'm so sorry if I hurt your feelings." Think about that. I just negated the entire apology because I said if. There is no if. You've already stated the fact. Your perception is your truth. My perception is my truth. But I'm going to go with your perception because you're the client. You're the person I'm here to serve and challenge and help and guide. But people think the words are super important, but people don't pay attention. And that's why I say your consciousness will always trump your strategies. So being aware, being conscious, being present, is so important. So the words, but your body language is incredibly important. It's actually 55% of communication. Your tone of voice, your eye contact, your smiling, your facial expressions are 38, and at 38%, your words are 7%. Super important. You need to be impeccable with them, but you need to have a balance here. And I believe that your intention for the other person is the thing that makes all of it work. That's what builds trust, and trust is what sells.
It's the sizzle. And I think this, truthfully, I'm going to hold here because it's fascinating. I mean, I have so many people, and you've seen recent episodes where we've talked about this, that people come to me all the time saying, I think the issue is marketing. And we do have a podcast that's about marketing message. So I get why they think I'm a marketer, but I never market myself as a marketer, ever. I'm not about marketing. I'm about the sales function. And I say to people, until we have addressed the sales conversation in value creating terms, and my role as your mentor is to equally play two sides of the coin. What is in your best interest and where are your blind spots, and what does the other side need to hear, feel, experience, and see so that you get to a match. And I said, guys, we got to fix this. And then we had the gasoline. And then people say to me, just tell me what the words are, Christine. And I said, I don't write your copy ever. And lots of my clients come to me and ask with checkbooks in hand, please, can you just write copy for me? I love what you just said. And I said, I actually just said what you said to me back to you. And they're like, wow, I did not. I said, well, listen to the recording. I may have polished, may have rephrased, but it is your concept, your heart, your energy. And then they think the only thing they need to worry about is the words. And you've just said to us only 7% is the words itself, and the words do matter. Small differences dramatically change the focus and the intention, but there's so much more. And so you've got to hear people, the delivery. So if you're not selling yourself, if you're not selling your confidence, if you're not behind what it is you're offering, it shows up in the, I don't hold your eyes.
Yeah.
I don't shake your
I
hand.
have a really good product for you. I mean, that's not going to work.
And people do it. And I will say to somebody, there is a moment of repetition, and you and I both know we get led a lot by our mentor, do the repetition. But I want you to use it as a learning platform. Ask, get in safe spaces, come to events, work with Anita to say, what am I saying without the words?
Because you're speaking the minute you walk in a room. Your presence, your energy shows up before you open your mouth. It's just there. People know if they like you before you open your mouth. And if you don't, and I'm not talking about you have to have $1 million clothes on or anything, but the way you show up, your energy, your presence, people read that, even if they've never been taught how, they read it inherently. And they make a decision in less than a second. I forget, it changes every year on what they're saying, how fast people make a decision. So you may be brilliant and have a brilliant product, but if you did not show up with your consciousness, your presence, they're not going to care what you have to say.
100%.
So
100%. And I think the best compliment is, I love your energy. And when you have somebody said, I don't know what you do. I just heard you, experienced you, and thought, I need to know more. That happens a lot in my business. And I'm always going, then I know I'm in my space. And it happened just yesterday. I met on a women's networking platform, and this woman booked in, and it was fun because we were two Canadians, which doesn't happen a lot in networking spaces when we're at a global platform, and it was a global community we were in. And she's like, I just really liked your energy. I want to know more what you're doing and how you're creating ripples. And that's what you want to know. You want to know that it's intentional. It is about your presence. It is about the subtle things that you're showing. So my friends, the invitation is to audit yourself and be in spaces like working with Anita so that you have somebody who's caring for you to help you be more effective. And then you can be another multi-generational success story. Says, I'm sure I will be here in a year because I have sales success behind me. And that's really where it sizzles. So Anita, what's working for you right now in your business to amplify your impact, to find clients, and to really create the awesomeness?
I love all forms of social media. I love doing things on Facebook. I will say, LinkedIn is wonderful and it's more businessy, and I love LinkedIn, and I do get clients from LinkedIn. I get clients from Facebook that I never know they've ever seen anything I've done, don't know who they are, and they will tell me, you did a talk about this when you worked for so-and-so, and it'll be a year ago. And they'll go, that really impacted me. So storytelling and letting people get to know you in any format works. And of course, Facebook goes to Instagram, but I get clients easily from that. And obviously from doing summits and speaking engagements and podcast and things, you have the opportunity to let people see your essence, see if they feel drawn to you. It's kind of like what you're saying. People don't even know what you're doing, but they want to work with you. And they're like, I'll have what she's having. It's like Harry met Sally kind of thing.
It is so true. And I love that I do observe, because I follow you on social media, and it is the art of, I show up as me and I don't take myself completely seriously. And yet I'm also showing up. Guys, it's simpler than we think. I tell you all the time, business is elegantly simple, but if you can't sell yourself, you cannot sell anything. And we want you selling lots of things to great people who need exactly what you have. And you've shown up in service with good, kind intention. And you said, I own this space. Anita, thank you for being our guest.
Oh, I love it. Thank you, Christine.
Guys, come connect to you. How do people find you? What's the best website, email, or where place should they connect to you?
Easy, because it's my name. My website is AnitaFlankGreen.com, and you can book a call with me at speakwithanita.green. It's pretty simple. I'm real high tech. I mean, I keep it. I have a company name, but I just use my name because that's what people tend to remember. So it's easy.
Well, and there's a story in that, because that is about the personal brand, because you and I take the same philosophy. Yes, I have a business name, but you're going to find me under my name, because you're going to know me as a human first before you know the business behind me. So guys, this is it. This is another amazing episode. Anita, thank you for being our guest. Absolute pleasure to spare space with you. Guys, we will see you all on our next episode. We'll see you there. That's a wrap on another amazing episode of Amplify Your Marketing Message with me, your host, Christine Campbell-Rappin. Be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform so you don't miss another great episode. And be sure to visit christinecampbellrappin.com/podcast to get a free resource on how to master your marketing message. We'll see you all on our next episode.